Hi, welcome back to Wallflowers. So today, having my morning coffee, I sat and browsed and watched a video a friend had sent me, which was a new release on Netflix. It was really distressing to watch, and it was about blood clots, and it got me to thinking, if many people are suffering from clots, we're all going down with different illnesses. Even people who are not living certain lifestyles, we're all struggling one way or another. I know myself. Um, I've suffered several different things in the last couple of years. So I was looking at blood clots in particular, and I was thinking, medicines in our food. So as we're all prepping now, are we actually looking at the medicinal side in the food that we're prepping? I won't be drawn into any arguments with people saying, oh, some people are buying junk food and prepping junk food and that. I prep a percentage of junk food. I have quick packets to make food. I have treats. I have a lot of different things in my cupboard, in my pantry that would be classed as junk food. And if I need them as motivation, today, tomorrow, 6 months now, 12 months now, then that junk food I have prepped, and I'm quite happy I've prepped quite a lot of junk food as well as stuff that I feel I need. But we've got a good community here, and regardless of how another person does things, we can give tips, we can give advice, but please let's not fall out as a community because someone does something different from us. Let's see and learn from what other things they do and why they do that particular. For me personally, I buy junk food as a motivational and quick, easy. If I'm not preparing the food, someone else is able to do that quickly, or I can do it quickly if I haven't got the other necessities. So anyway, from that, I've been looking at um, medicine as the food. So I dehydrate onions and garlic. Now, onions and garlic are a fabulous coagulant. They stop the blood from clotting. That might not be the proper word, but they stop the blood from clotting. And I dehydrate garlic and onions quite regularly. And yes, it can cause a smell in the house. And some people, I do it here in the kitchen, and some people don't like the smell of it. To me, I'm not particularly bothered. If it's really offensive, or, we have visitors or whatever, I have white vinegar in a squirty bottle, add it to water, and I use that as a air freshener. Yeah, at first when the vinegar's wet, you can smell a slight bit of vinegar. Once that dissipates into the atmosphere, it actually clears any smells in the atmosphere, and it's a fabulous. Um, what I just called it, air freshener. It's a fabulous air freshener. And if I have to do that several intervals whilst I'm drying the garlic or the onions, then so be it. But I'm going to make sure I have my supply of garlic and onions. Um, Garlic can be bought in many ways in the shops. We can buy them in the cloves like this, which I do quite often to make sure that I've got a supply if the fresh garlic dries up and I've used all my dehydrators, because I use that on a regular basis. Or you can buy what's called, I think it's actually labelled it on the jar, lazy garlic. So it's this garlic, but just cut and chopped up, which you just take a spoon and add it to your food as you go along. All of those are fabulous to have in the pantry, much needed, not only for taste and flavour in the food, because we don't want bland food when we've got nothing else. We want that food to taste nice when we finally come to it, but the health properties to it as well. So garlic is a good main store. We really do need garlic. All of these herbs and spices. I've just put a small collection here. A shop bought, obviously, you can see them in the shop bought containers. But all these spices are absolutely fabulous. Again, anticoagulants. We need them, not just for flavour, but for the health aspect as well. and half a teaspoon here and half a teaspoon there, and they make a vast difference. Cinnamon, granted, is an acquired taste. Some of the herbs and spices are acquired taste, but a minimum amount of cinnamon in your food provides such health aspects. I can't remember the actual details now, but again, in regard to blood thinning and preventing blood clots, it's a hero. So yeah, I add a small amount. Occasionally, I'll do a cinnamon tea. I make my own honey. I do it in the spring when the dandelions come out. This is a jar of dandelion honey, so I literally pick the heads from my own garden because I know no dogs are out there dirtying on them or wetting on them. It's something you need sugar for, so make sure you've got some sugar in your pantry should we not be able to get that. And I make quite a few jars of this. I give it to some local friends. My boys love it, and me and Mr. Wallflowers love it. We roast vegetables in it. We just have it on a slice of bread. We use it for baking. We use it for absolutely all kinds. The price of honey now is going through the roof, and I love my homemade dandelion honey. I've made that for about 3 or 4 years on the trot now, and we make enough to last a 12-month period, as well as give some gifts. So I'm really happy with that. But we need honey, we need spices, we need the garlics, we need fruit. Now, this is a shop bought sample of lemon slices. Now, if need be, I'll just do a big jug of water. I'll put a couple of slices of those lemon in the big jug of water. That will just be a refreshing lemon water drink for us. And I'm getting all the vitamin C from the lemons. I'm getting a nice spark of flavour and I'm enjoying it. And I'll eat that out and make that last. So that's in my pantry shop board, ready to go for when I need it. I also do some versions of my own and can them. So this one is just tangerine slices. And I can either bake with that, I can just take a spoon to the jar and just enjoy it, or we can share it out in bowls. And if we've got anything else to go with it, a bit of evaporated cream, a bit of fresh cream, a bit of ice cream if I've managed to make some, anything at all really, or just the fruit on its own, and the vitamin C again from that. This isn't a sugar syrup. But again, the flavours and the enjoyment, excuse me, as well as the health aspect of the vitamin C. We will have junk foods that we revert to because we want that motivation, we want that taste, we want that quick and easy, but we do have to put some of the actual medicine foods away, and this is what I'm trying to do now. So as well as the herbs I've bought shop bought, there are a few that I've dehydrated. As I say, it's just a small example. One I keep showing you that I've done all the time is my spinach. This one is basil that I keep getting in the Food Initiative pantry on the free shelf rather than leave it go to waste. I'm bringing it home and dehydrating it, and I've got plenty of basil to take me through the season. Now, when it comes to spring and summer, Mr. Wallflowers actually suffers from horsefly bites and he gets them on a regular basis. We've discovered the only thing that actually soothes them and brings the bite down is basil. So I'll either use a fresh leaf from the garden and I'll chew it and make it in some kind of poultice and I'll place it on the horsefly bite, or I'll make up some of this and then I'll just put a wet cloth over the top of it and he leaves that in his arm. In the past, we have purchased basil oil, or for a tiny little bottle of essential oil, it's actually £9. So if we've got these herbs and we can wet them and we can use them for medicinal purposes, that's absolutely fabulous. I did make a quick note of some other things. So vitamin E is quite vital, and we've probably gone well past the stage now, but when we brought the sunflowers in from the garden to cook them off and dehydrate them and put them away, there's a vast amount of vitamin E in them. But we can dehydrate the leafy greens and we can keep them in a vacuum sealed jar just like we can these things. And the amount of vitamin E in the leafy greens, it is what we will need if we're reduced in the amount of fresh food that we've got available come 6 months, 2 months, however long it takes for this to kick in even further. Things like turmeric and ginger that I've shown you before, if you can pick them up just a little bit at a time and dehydrate them and even powder them and keep them. Thyme, paprika, cayenne pepper, as I've shown you, the cinnamon. Pineapple fruit is really wonderful as well, and I'm looking to try and get some pineapples. Yes, they might be out of season, but if I need them, I need them. So I'm going to put some pineapple away. Omega-3 is vital. So my husband works for a fish company, and sometimes we get some discounters. And I love it when he's able to get me some discounted fish. But other than that, if we can afford to buy from the shops, because it's really expensive to buy fish in the shops at the moment, buy canned. It's better than none. Buy, shop or canned fish. I like pilchards. Not a lot of people like pilchards, but I like pilchards and rice together. I think it's wonderful, and some vegetables in the rice. And the omega-3 that you just get from pilchard, mackerel, if you can stretch to salmon, this omega-3 is vital. I mentioned flax seeds a video or two back, and there's a high content of omega-3 in flax seeds. Now, I add that to my porridge on a regular basis. So I'll just put a tablespoon of flaxseed in my porridge and stir it in after it's cooked. And I really enjoy it, and sometimes I add a spoon of honey as well. Both or either or is good for me, but omega-3, we need to make sure. The one thing I'm watching out for personally is not to consume in excess amount of sugars and breads, because they will add to the clotting of blood. Obviously, we need some of both, and we like some of both. But if we're, for example, I'm coming across some people now that are struggling so much financially. They're actually eating toast and just bread and margarine bread and a bit of spread if you've got it available, and providing the food for the family and not eating substantial amounts themselves, just basically living off bread. That's quite upsetting and worrying to hear. It's okay that you've got the love in your heart to start that and to be able to do that, but not to sustain your body is going to cause damage to the family, the children further on down the line if you're not well enough to keep going and look after them to the capacity that they're used to you looking after them and your day-to-day life. So there'd be twofold why people aren't asking for help in that situation and just trying to plod on and survive. One is, I'm not going to call it pride, I'm going to call it embarrassment, because some people don't want to alert the families that they're struggling, don't want to alert the friends, and don't want to scare the children. That's one aspect to it. And the other aspect is to think it's not going to be long and they'll get through it and they'll be okay. I just want to say today, please, please, please reach out and try and get some help. There are still available some resources, food banks. There's mostly a food bank available in most towns or villages. Please, in the privacy of your own home, no one's listening, no one's around, just make that phone call and reach out and see if they can help you. That little bit of food that they provide will give your body sustenance to keep looking after yourself, to keep looking after your family, and keep doing what you need to do. Living off toast long term will not do that for you. And hopefully when you get there, not only will they be able to give you a little food to ease things and get you through, but they might be able to point you in the right direction for financial advice and see if there's anything available to you that you're not taking advantage of. And by saying not taking advantage of, I mean what's actually available to you, what you should be claiming, or what you are entitled to that can ease this burden at the moment and get you off just eating toast, you know. Okay, thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll see you soon. Bye.